Hey YouTube, coming back again. You can see got the car backed into the garage this time. Normally if you watched any of my videos before, you'll see I always pull it in front first. Normally I guess working under the hood more than the hatch, but I've decided that today is the last day that she's going out for the year. Today's October 22nd. I've never really made it till November before of keeping it out and planning on driving it. So it's time to get it put in permanent for the year, got it where I want it. And we're gonna go over the 2023 winter projects. I know we're all already thinking about what we're doing this winter, and I'm gonna go over my plans. I'm in Indiana these days. I've lived in Indiana the whole time that I've owned this car. And so it's, towards the end of October, month plus November, December, January, February, and probably most of March, I won't even have this thing out again. So there's plenty of time to do these things. I got to space them out, plan some of them around my time off from work at Christmas time and New Year's, and fill up some time when I'm at home, and then just fill in weekends. So it's not all that bad to plan on some time where you're not going to be getting it dirty, you're not going to be driving it. You can just start to tear some stuff apart and leave it tore apart and not be in a rush to get it back together. I have lived in South Texas before, so I understand some of you guys are just kind of getting to the point where you're ready to get out. All the summer heat's finally gone and the triple digits are gone, and you're going to enjoy driving pretty much all winter long in some parts of the country. So kind of envious of that. But so some of my past winter projects, this will be my fifth winter owning the car. I've pulled the engine out on two different winter projects. One when I first bought it because it had a rear main seal leak, and it had some cork gaskets on it from its previous owners. So I pulled the engine, I cleaned everything, I repainted the engine, I had the engine bay painted, replaced all the seals. I didn't really go too invasive into the engine at all back then. And so that was my first winter project. The second winter project, I think, was the 5-lug conversion. And it's got the Cobra rear disc brakes. It's got the Brembo CTS conversion up front. It's got 18-inch rims on it now, lowered 95 spindles and so on. And then I think the third winter, I kind of took time off from it. Didn't really have the money to splurge or the time as much. Last winter, I pulled the engine again. It was, I was concerned it was having some issues. I'm old, my back's a wreck, my knee's a wreck, blah, blah, blah. So it's just much easier for me to pull the engine out and work on a lot of things like that than it is planning on being bent over, working inside the engine bay. A lot of the younger folks will think I'm crazy, but some of the older guys like me will probably know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so what am I doing this winter? Let's talk about it. So really the theme for this project is doing things again that I've already done once before. That irritates the heck out of me, but here I am. As you can see, I have replaced all of the T-top weather stripping in the past, the felt and everything, but this felt is pulling away where it is adhesive in. It is riveted, but in the gaps you can start to see it's got areas where it's just pulling away. It's gotten dented up from putting the T-tops in and out. And I know there's really probably no good replacement parts these days, but I'm gonna try the Daniel Carpenter kit this time. So in order to replace all these felt strips, I have to drill out the rivets. I have to pull all the weather stripping out to get to them. When I put all of this weather stripping in the first time, I actually glued it down in with some black silicone adhesive so that it wouldn't try to roll out of the channel or pop out over time. So it's going to be a bear to get out and to clean everything up before I have to put a new kit back in. While I'm at it though, I guess the bright side is the paint on the trim isn't the best. It's kind of got some orange peel in it that somebody's done before. I know the lighting's not great, but this trim, same thing. It's definitely needs sanded down and primered and painted. Now this trim I've redone myself, and it's much better, much more smooth appearance than this stuff up here. So we'll get all that to match as a benefit of while I've got it all apart. And while I'm at doing the new weather stripping, these are the original T-top or convertible end cap rubber pieces. I've never replaced them. They're getting tore up and cracked over time. So I'm gonna replace those on each of the rear door of the doors. And then I'm also gonna get this new front piece that's available and replace that as well because it's cracked. You guys know how it is. As soon as you start fixing trim and fixing weather stripping, then any piece you haven't done really stands out like a sore thumb. So I'm gonna replace those as well. So the next project, I'm gonna have to take all the headliner out because I've replaced the whole interior with a black OEM interior out of a 92 hatch. That was another project, not a winter project, but a project in general. I've replaced everything to a black interior because 87 cars did not come with black interior options. This is out of a 92. So at the time I put new black vinyl in the T-top headliner, used 3M quality spray adhesive, so I thought. But if you can see here on the driver's side, all of this area has come undone over the last few months, and it's all bubbled down. So since the weather stripping's coming out, it has to come out for this to come out also, and we're gonna either resurface this again with the factory cardboard headliner core with some different type of adhesive, or I might go with the TMI pre-made headliner. It's pretty expensive though, but it would then match the TMI door panels and seats, I guess. Headliner is the second project for this winter. And my third main winter project, earlier this spring, I replaced all the speakers in the car, put a sub in the spare tire well, did the 417 Fox trim plate up front there, put a double din and swapped it around with the HVAC. Car sounds excellent, has great sound, put some audio control amps in, but this amp rack is kind of an eyesore right now. I never got around to actually putting a cover plate over it. So I got to figure out, do I want some plexiglass in it with some lights? Do I want to just hide it and just vinyl straight around? I've already started messing around with a template. I could just do something as easy as a trim plate there that's black vinyl, find a way to attach it with some magnets or something so that it can pop in and out, and then maybe put some type of a trim piece up over the top here. It does need the air at the top to get the fins of the amp cooled, so I can't just block it off completely, but maybe something to fill in around the cargo cover. And then I want this to still be able to work. And something like that. So that's the third project. Now, one additional project that I'd really want to do, but I don't know if it's going to get done, is to put a new windshield in. This windshield, I don't know all of its life story of this car, but it has a ton of little pits in it, almost like it was on a gravel road or sand or something. It's kind of magnified on the camera, but those are not bug stains. I have scrubbed and scrubbed, and you can feel little indentions on some of these. So it doesn't look the best. There's nothing that's cracked. There's no big chips or anything, but there's a lot of these little fine chips. And I can get an original Carlite windshield. The windshield itself's not that expensive. The freight shipping to get it here about triples the cost of it. And even that in itself, I would go ahead and do it, but I got to find somebody that will come here and replace it. So I've been talking to a few body shops and paint places, trying to find a contact to somebody that knows how to do this well and would actually preferably come to my place and do it instead of me driving this somewhere this winter is kind of out of the question. And I'd have to get a new motorsport banner because I don't think I could go without that now that I've put it in. So, and that would be a wrap. So those are my plans. Comment below, let me know what everybody else is doing. I know there's plenty of us out there that have locations where we'll be parking them. Maybe you're just putting a cover over it and go out every now and then just to look at it, maybe start it up for a few minutes. Others are going to take advantage of the time like me and get some projects done. So let's hear what they are. Thanks, everyone.